Well, g'day and welcome to JoeJoeMoto. Today, right here in front of me is the latest project that has rolled its way into the shed, and I'm very, very excited to tell you guys all about it. It's been years in the making, and man, I'm stoked, I'm ready, I'm pumped for a new project, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the story behind this bike sitting in front of me right here. Probably 3 to 5 years ago, I don't even remember, I just saw this bike for sale on Bike Sales and just went, oh, I love that bike. It was a very custom bike, a lot of modifications done to it. So let's start rolling through some of the pictures here. So you can see what kind of bike it is, like a scrambler, cafe racery sort of bike, and it gave me the fizz. I was very excited about that one. So I saved the photos for it. It's obviously long gone, sold now. It was years and years and years ago, but it was an Australian bike. Anyway, I considered doing that sort of build with the GS500, but that bike was just sort of worth too much money to start cutting up and whatever. And did a bit of research and looking at the frame and trying to work out what kind of bike it was, and I found out that the bike that had been modified was a Kawasaki ER5, so an ER500, just a basic learner's bike and whatever, but just the way it was done, I just couldn't get over it, and I saved those photos, and like I said, I've had them on my computer for years now. Anyway, long story short, something popped up for sale, and I couldn't say no. So let's check out what's right in front of me. So here it is in all its glory. I think it's a 2003. I'll have to look that up later, but I think it's a 2003 Kawasaki ER5. So it's just like a learner's basic commuter bike, very, very basic machine. And this example here is very, very rough. I'll show you guys over all of the things wrong with it and tell you the story about how it came to be. But this is it. This is the new project for the shed, and I just wanted to document the whole process and how it's all going to work and whatever. Yeah. So anyway, let's start by just showing you over the whole bike first off. Overall condition of the bike is, yeah, it's not terrible, but there's just so many little parts that, you know, make up a bike and makes it overall not super amazing. Alright, where are we going to start? So, paint-wise, it's, you know, it's pretty faded and that sort of thing on the paint there. A lot of the fairing bits, that's what you call it, I don't know, plastics and whatever on it, are either cracked or chipped or, you know, grazed, or, you know, that bit's sort of snapped off its mount, and there is a reasonable ding on the fuel tank, which is probably one of the most disappointing things. But anyhow, yeah, overall paint and whatever is not amazing at all, but it's not super bad. Probably the main things that obviously you notice straight away is the bars are super bent. You know, it's obviously been dropped on this side and laid over and whatever. Missing a mirror there. The gauge cluster, you can see, is all sort of, the mount for it apparently is snapped or something. That's not mounted properly. Tyres are absolutely shot. Front and rear, there's just zero tread left on it at all. What's some of the other major things? The other major things are throttle is not connected. There is no connection to the throttle at all, really. I think there's the return one, but not the pull one, you know, like push and pull. It's one of them's connected, but the other is not. And then this is probably one of the other big main issues that we've got. The clutch lever that goes into the engine, like the clevis or whatever you want to call it, is sort of broken or something, so we're going to have to repair that. It's all just tie wired up at the moment. Yeah, but just overall, you know, scratches and things and bits and pieces and things hanging off it everywhere, and, you know, it's just not, it's not amazing. It's not amazing, let's be honest, but it's my bike. It's my bike and I am happy with it. So that is the basic rundown of the bike. there is a big story to go with it about actually purchasing the bike and how I found it for sale and how I bought it and whatever. But I'm going to save that one for another day. That'll be for once we get it going and going for a ride and everything. I'll tell you guys all about that because that story alone is worth exactly what I paid for the bike. One of the main things that I want to make sure is that I'm not going to be wasting my time with the bike, putting money into it and whatever, and doing stuff to the bike, and it's not worth it. So I did start it while when I went and purchased it, but it was not amazing. It didn't start too well. So I've sort of hacked the system and got into where the accelerator cable goes down, and I've actually cut it off, cut the outer casing and whatever, so I can actually yank on this the inner of the cable and give it a few revs. So I think that's probably one of the first things we're going to do is will it run, make sure it actually runs and does what it needs to do. So apologies, it's super windy, so the shed's all rattly and shaky at the moment, but what we'll do is we'll see if we can fire her up, eh? Alright, key on. Good. Oh, we've got some lights going, which is nice. It's all these things you don't really notice when you're actually going to buy the bike. So all the dash lights, oh, that light doesn't glow, you know, like the backlit part of it. I wonder if all the other stuff works. Maybe once it's running, I don't know. Anyway, let's have a go. Choke, I guess. We'll put a bit of choke on. It's got this, you know, manual choke sort of thing going. It's in neutral. Well, it says it's in neutral at least, so let's have a crack. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. She starts straight up. Obviously a little bit cold, a little bit lumpy, but if we give her some choke and give her some time to warm up. She's definitely got those learner bike sounds, that's for sure, but looks like all the lights and things are working, hey? That's really cool. Oh, don't die, don't die, don't die. Keep going. Indicators work, headlights work. Can we get high beam? Yeah. All the dash lights working. Look at all that. Stop it. What was the other thing? Oh, horn. Let's give the horn a old. Give the horn an old beep, eh? Oh yeah, she works. We might try out this throttle, my throttle hack, and see if we can actually get it to rev up a bit, eh? Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Probably some fresh fuel wouldn't go astray. Who knows how old this fuel is. A little bit smoky. Doesn't want to sit there and idle. That's the horn. That's the starter. Alright, before we go too much further, I should, like I said, put some fresh fuel in and check the water and the oil and all that sort of thing, because that hasn't been done, and I don't know if it's ever been done, let alone in the last 6 months, a year, couple of years or whatever. It starts straight up and it runs beautifully. That's so cool. That is so cool. Well, now that we know that it's running pretty well, I don't know, it seems to be running awesome. The guy that sold it to me said it'll ride around Australia, you know, no worries at all. He's super confident with a gearbox and engine. Anyhow, it's now time to start making a plan. As you guys saw at the start, I did buy the bike because of an example of a scrambler cafe racer, and I think that is a long-term goal. I paid such little money for this bike, and everything that is wrong with the bike is something that you would replace anyway when you're doing that scrambler cafe racer build. The seat has a bit of a crack in it, sort of thing. You're going to put a new seat on. all of the paint and plastics and that sort of thing are all broken on the bike. You'd take them all off anyway. The tyres are shot. You're going to be putting some sort of, you know, cool off-road tyres and whatever. The bars are bent. You know, I'm going to be using some lower clip-on bars or something like that eventually anyway. So it's like everything that is broken on the bike would be replaced anyway doing this this build. So that is, you know, a lot of the reason that spurred me on to buy it when I did look at the bike. But anyway, short-term plans. Right now, I think the plan is to get it running and riding kind of thing. I can't ride it on the road at the moment because it's not registered anyway, so, and the tyres are shot. I don't know whether I want to buy a set of road tyres or cheap tyres or something, maybe some second-hand, that could be a possibility, to get it on the road and registered. It's making me think right now, that could be a really good idea. Getting the bike on the road is going to be priority number one, and then from there we can start cutting it up and doing all the cool stuff. So yeah, this is pretty much like episode number one of the Scrambler Cafe Racer build, I guess you'd say. And tell you what, I'm excited. So we might just get stuck into the work. I think we're going to start with this throttle and handlebars is probably job number one, to get it riding properly, and tyres, so mounting everything up as well. Lots of jobs as I was thinking about it, just keeps adding to it and adding to it. But anyhow, let's get into it. Handlebars and throttle cable. Well, before we get into any of the work, we're going to cut this video here and leave it just as an introduction to the bike. I'm super excited. Next video is going to start with all of the bike work, getting it prepared for getting it on the road, which is really, really exciting. I'm just so stoked with it. I'm just so happy with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a lot of talking and whatever and not much action, but I just wanted to show the full introduction of this awesome, awesome little rig. Yeah, so drop a comment below, let me know what you thought about it. Do the subscribe and notifications and all the other social media things, and I will see you guys on the next video.